This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports Chaco. We're here at Pete Taylor's gym and we're delighted to be joined by the Mac Attack, Tommy McCarthy.
Thanks for having me.
I was sort of saying to Tyrone there as well, it's the first time I've obviously had you in a live sort of interview. Everything's been on Zoom before, so I guess it's good news we're sort of getting back to some sort of normality. You get cameras in your faces now rather than everything on Zoom.
Yeah, no, it's like, well, it's probably more so for you as reporters, but like boxers' lives didn't change too much because we're in the gym the whole time and the gym was open for us, so it's been regular scheduled program for us for a while, but it's good to have the crowds now back in the fights and stuff.
And obviously, looking back probably on the Billam-Smith defeat in July, you probably had a lot of time to reflect on the fight. Sort of looking back on the fight, obviously it's probably just the fact that people calling it robbery and stuff, you know, after I think you sort of said it was a close fight, sort of one round in either way. Looking back on it, sort of, I guess like anything, you would obviously change things within the camp. How's the sort of feeling now, just the fact of just getting back in there and showing what you can do?
No, it's just disappointed, more so in myself for the way things turned out, you know, like, I got off to a good start in the fight and then I kind of lost myself in the middle rounds, which allowed him to get back into it, and then when I turned it on in the championship rounds, it wasn't enough in the judges' eyes to seal the victory, but I'm not dwelling on it too much. Like, I'm trying to stay focused on, you know, going forward, and you know, if you I just want to leave it in the past and just build from it.
And I guess, you know, probably even in our eyes and probably a lot of fight fans' eyes, you obviously being the EBU holder of the belt, was obviously in the negotiation with fights. I think Billam-Smith was a voluntary. Was there a rematch clause in the fight, or what's going on with that?
No, there was no rematch clause, but Eddie says that we'll do it again. So, you know, I'm hopeful that we'll get it on. I saw in an interview he said we're going to do it in the summer, so you know, hopefully, you know, touch wood, it all comes off.
Because for you yourself, you obviously didn't have to take it. Chris Billam-Smith, you probably were, say, probably one fight away from the world title, so you give him the opportunity. Is it probably a guess that it's shown to Billam-Smith that he needs to make improvements before he gives you a rematch again, because he knows it wasn't the best Tommy McCarthy had?
I don't know, like, see, like, he's won the belt, so the ball's in his court. It's up to him where he wants to do it or not. I gave him an opportunity, but it wasn't so much like I was doing him a favour. I think it was just a fight that was presented to me, and I was like, yeah, we'll do it. And you know, that's it. Like, so as I said, the ball's in his court at the minute, and you know, I'm just have to stay ready in case they do come off with a date, but I'll be ready for the rematch, and I'm hopeful.
And I guess with Eddie starting to announce shows sort of more regularly again, you know, is it probably the likelihood is maybe they might give you a warm-up before that, or is it the fact that forget the warm-up, just get straight back in there?
Yeah, I don't need a warm-up. I want to go straight back into the championship fights again, and you know, as I say, he's the promoter, and what he puts together, you know, don't really have much of a say in it, so like ideally I'd rather just jump straight back in, and warm-ups are a waste of time, like, so I just have to see what happens. Like I say, there's plenty of shows getting announced. I've been training since New Year's Day, full time. When weight's good, I'm good to go, like, so just waiting for the confirmation of a date here in March.
And I guess, you know, you're seeing obviously Gary Cully getting a fight against Vasquez, obviously Tyrone fighting Prograis. Is it sort of giving you itchy knuckles now and going, like, if somebody forgot my phone number, where's my fight?
Oh, not even, like, I won't begrudge anyone in the gym or my mates now, so I'm buzzing for them, but it's just making me work harder, because obviously they're taking their training up, and that's because they're two hard fights, two world level fights, so I'm keeping my training at the same, you know, at the world level, because these fights kind of come out of nowhere, so it's just let me see that boxing, like, in the blink of an eye, you get an opportunity, you need to be ready to take it.
And I know it's like anything, I guess, you know, like, probably he's always liked to have a bit of back and forth, obviously particularly you and Tyrone. you were the sort of first one to sort of come down and sort of implemented people into Pete Taylor's gym. Are you sort of like a proud father and saying, "Come on, kids, come with me"? You sort of led the way for them.
Well, like I am the daddy of the gym, but I didn't tell them to come. It was just they had some issues. They weren't happy with the coaching in the previous camp, so when that business broke down, they looked at what was happening with me, and I was getting plenty of success for my move here. So they were like, "I want some man," and it's rubbed off. Gary Coley's an original in his team from Pete Star training pros, and everybody knows how good he is. Like, so the Tyrone just wanted to get, and Sean wanted to get piece of the action.
And what is it with Pete's training that's obviously different? Like over 100 miles you're sort of having to travel to come to Dublin and train. What is it with Pete that's so special?
It's just it's hard to explain it. The people beyond beyond boxes, but the way he puts the sizes together, the thought process behind them, everything from the runs, the drills, everything is just top notch. And you wouldn't get it anywhere else in the world. And it's worth the travel, it's worth the sacrifice to come along. Seen what he's done with Katie, seen what he's done with Luke Keeler, seen what he's done with me, Gary, and Tyrone. His track record's proven.
And I guess it's probably more for him and showing his pedigree now. Obviously, Katie's obviously a great success of that. It's undisputed. She's obviously a massive fight now in Madison Square Garden now in April. Obviously, people look at it and sort of go, "Katie's in the decline." You're probably one of our biggest supporters out there, and to say that Serrano's made for. The fact that we're going to see the very best of Katie. People sort of saying that Jake Paul was sort of influence in that fight. I think people sort of forget that Katie's the greatest woman of all time, probably the greatest Irish boxer of all time. And obviously April 30th is about her cementing her legacy and I guess striving and showing everybody else the way.
Yeah, definitely. Katie's in a league of her own. There's no females out there who even have like a quarter the ability that she has. And you've seen the last couple of performances, she's still beating these girls on her bad days. Like she hadn't, their last couple of performances, she's said herself, she's been below par. So this is a fight to get up for, the hype, the buzz, Madison Square Garden. I think, as you said, we'll see the best of you, and it'll be a shuddered victory. Fingers
crossed. And finally, obviously, then when do you expect to be back in the ring? I guess
next
March,
month.
April.
No, definitely next month. Like I'm training for. I've been training with March my main, but I'll be ready to go in the February and March. I'm ready to go probably next week. I'm sparring good, my rounds are up, my fitness up, weights down, so I'm good to go whenever.
Ideal scenario, I guess, is obviously Mick and Lee Wood, and obviously in Nottingham. About that, the ideal sort of opportunity because Pete's already there with Gary.
Yeah.
But I guess it's what Eddie decides.
As you say, it would suit the camp because Gary's working towards that date, and so we'll all be going together. So I'd say that would be an ideal scenario. Plus, Mick's my mate, so it would be good for me to get over to watch him in the world title as well. So.
Well, listen, Tony, thanks very much for your time. I'm sure we'll catch you very soon.
Good stuff.